Donald Trump knows that he still has the world's attention, and they wanted to see what he would be doing today, the first full day of his life as a convicted felon. So he brought the world's assembled media here to Trump Tower in Midtown Manhattan, where he gave a sometimes disjointed, rambling, more than 30-minute long speech, where we heard many of the same themes that we heard reiterated through the 7-week-long trial, which ended in his conviction. He railed against the US justice system, he railed against the prosecutors who had brought the charges, and he railed against the judge who had overseen the trial.
So we're going to be appealing this scam. We're going to be appealing it on many different things. He wouldn't allow us to have witnesses. He wouldn't allow us to talk. He wouldn't allow us to do anything. The judge was a tyrant.
It's still unclear exactly what this means for Donald Trump in terms of public support, but we know there has been one tangible, concrete result. In the 10 hours or so after the verdict was handed down, his campaign says they brought in around 60 million Australian dollars in extra funding. Now, Joe Biden has a considerable advantage when it comes to campaign finance, so this will go some way to bridging that gap. But we also heard from the man who currently occupies the Oval Office. Joe Biden says Donald Trump's conviction is evidence of a justice system working. He says it's an example that in America, no one person is above the law, and that people need to be careful and mindful of potentially impacting the justice system by overly criticizing it for this particular result.
And it's reckless, it's dangerous, it's irresponsible for anyone to say this was rigged just because they don't like the verdict.
The next critical date for Donald Trump is July the 11th. That's when the judge is due to hand down his sentencing. He faces a potential 4-year prison sentence. Now, in normal circumstances, given that Donald Trump is a first-time criminal offender and his advanced years, you would not think a custodial sentence would be in the offering. However, given that Donald Trump has showed no contrition since his verdict was handed down, and given that he continues to flagrantly disregard the very specific gag orders that were imposed upon him by the judge in this case, it puts the pressure on Judge Juan Merchan to impose a sentence that is commensurate with Donald Trump's behavior in terms of offense and his behavior during the trial and after. How that actually plays out remains to be seen, but it appears that some sort of restriction on Donald Trump's freedom may be in the offering.